everyone, hey, and welcome back to yet another episode of BRR. This is your host, Tom Quee. Thanks so much for listening. Before we get into today's guest, a long-awaited guest, a guest that I wanted to have on for a long time, a lot of people have been requesting, we'll just say, please get in contact with me if you have any questions about the podcast, any advice you have. People have been getting in contact with me, suggesting things to do with the content and episodes, and they've been so great, I have to say. Like, one person had this stroke of genius, and one got in contact with me on Reddit and was like, if you've had two people on that have battled each other, you should say for example, Soul C Major. I know that I haven't mentioned both of those battles, but it's like, we take what Soul said about C Major in his episode, what C Major said to Soul, put it on the footage, do a little documentary, maybe me and a guest talking about the battle, a classic battle, a kind of ESPN have this thing called 30 for 30, which I'm kind of just getting aware of. This awesome set of documentaries all about kind of famous sports events, mostly American sports, and it'd be cool to have a 30 for 30 about battling. I just want to thank that guy on Reddit because that was a great suggestion. Had any more suggestions, please get in contact at Battlerapresume. Also the YouTube channel, please subscribe if you listen on the YouTube. Why don't you listen on your phone as well? Download it through iTunes, through Downcast, anything like that. Just subscribe on any channels you have. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that have been listening. We've been pushing forward now. This is, episode 51. This is a big milestone now. We're getting right into it's the middle of a century, which is crazy, really. And I just want to thank everyone individually for listening and subscribing and liking the show. Anyway, Battlerapresume as a show, I should say, started out initially when I began the idea of the show, the start of 2016, the end of 2015. I just wanted to interview the best writers, pen game. I wanted to have those sort of people on, and that's not to say that the expansion of the show is something that I don't like. I much prefer it. I think I should just invite everyone, and that's not to say that people on the show aren't great. Everyone's a great writer in their own right, but it was very much people like my guest today that I really was focusing on, because Ogmios, as a fan of your writing, it's the thought process that goes behind it. I can really appreciate the attention that you've mauled upon it.
Greetings. Hold on, it's still going.
That reverb, man, it's the best part.
Yeah. Okay, it's good. I'll purify the air now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about your question.
No, well, first of all, just thank you for being on the show, man. Welcome.
It's my pleasure. I'm a fan, been listening to the Battle Rap Resume.
Thank you, man.
To the shows, man. Very good stuff.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate this. And like I say, I have wanted you on for a long time. And, there are certain battlers that just crop up on this show incidentally. Soul is definitely another one, where if you have someone on the show and they battled Soul or they battled Ogmios, oh, you're covering that battle. Like, it's just, it's going to be a good clash. Like, you do have, I think you have one of the most, if I go on your Verse Tracker page, pretty much every thumbnail that I see, I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that. The rewatchability is crazy.
I hope so, yeah. I hope there's something in there to enjoy long term.
Do you have any, none of us have this foresight, do we really? And maybe someone will read this in the future and see if this is prescient or not. But it's like, how long is YouTube going to last? How long will videos last? Like, in 50 years, will someone be able to watch Ogmios C Major?
Yeah.
I hope so.
I hope so. Maybe it's like recently Don't Flop YouTube channel went down, didn't it? And I think every battler then was thinking, shit, I should have downloaded all my videos. Yeah. And, at least then you could put them all on a DVD. If YouTube collapses or something, you can still hustle your DVD back catalogue of greatest hits, like greatest battles.
Like, I would buy the Ogmios box set. Like, I would
it's not a bad idea anyway, yeah.
That isn't, no. No, I like that. But
I might actually, having said that, I think, it's a good thing just to download, because these platforms, they're not our platforms, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, they can disappear. And it's like forgetting to back up your computer and losing all the tracks you've been working on. Yeah. It's, if everything went down, I don't know, probably Don't Flop keep a back catalogue to a certain degree, but yeah, I reckon, just download your battles just for a personal little cache of memories, and just keep it there in the safe.
Yeah, I completely agree, because Soul has battled Unanimous twice.
Yeah.
The first time he battled him was on Get Slated, and I don't know if you know, but that entire league went offline.
Oh, right,
for
yeah,
personal
yeah.
reasons. So therefore, that battle was lost. But
Wow.
it was saved because there was a compilation that someone did. I mentioned this on the Soul episode. There's all these rounds. It's 3 hours of Soul, and thank God someone went outside the Don't Flop comfort zone and got that battle there. But I appreciate that, isn't it? Yeah. It's so fragile. There's no security. There's no vault. It's just streaming, which I guess is kind of an indictment of the digital culture in an extent, you know.
Yeah, as battle rappers anyway, we write just for that one battle, and we're not able to take that material, run it for years, and so it is this one-off thing that is just for that moment, and it's definitely worth, if it's a great battle, just keeping it, and because you never know what's going to happen in the future.
Well, I mean, that individuality to your writing is one of the things I love. I mean, we're going to talk about this battle in depth later on, but the Adam the Rapper battle, the way you broke down Camelin, his surname, it's just, that's crazy attention, man.
Appreciate that.
So, we'll kick off, and, in these early battles, such as Heavy Duty, your tryout, which we're going to just get onto now, and then Aukes as well. You've got the CD with you. I get the impression that you were making music for a long time before battling.
I mean, that was actually my first album, The Last Picnic, the one that I'm pushing on my tryout. So I was making music for a few years, but didn't put an album together, for a little while. So that was basically the culmination of a few years of writing. So that album is like crosses a span of about 5 years worth of different sort of tracks.
Right.
And it's funny to see that actually. I rewatched, like in anticipation of coming on Battle Rap Resume, I've rewatched the battles that you mentioned, and it's funny. I forgot. I see me there like pushing by The Last Picnic, and it was definitely something people did a lot more before. I'm not sure why not so much now.
Yeah. It's a good album cover as well. You stick out on it quite.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that's my Japanese friend Hiro. Right. He's like a graffiti stencil artist, goes by the name of Paradox, and I used to live with him, and so he did like the artwork for me. Getting
into Don't Flop, I mean, you are very much one of the 2012 killer crop. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, of course. I'm at the heart of the 2012 killer crop. I don't care what anyone says. That's a killer crop. That's no one was ready for that. It was that event, Fiddler's Elbow. I don't know when, in January.
Very early.
Put the call out to all corners of the battle rap world for the unknown voice.
I mean, C Major was there.
C Major. I'm actually gonna do like Ogmios' third episode is in the works. Ogmios show.
Oh yeah, excellent.
And it's going to cover, a bit of the history of the old 12 killer crop.
Nice, man. They need documentation. They are a legitimate kind of scene in themselves.
I think it was an interesting time.
Yeah, very much so. It was kind of an interesting time for every tier of Don't Flop, and it was just so cool that the entry level was what is now dominant. You guys, and coming into this, had you battled much, or?
That was my first battle. Yeah. I'd only really been watching Don't Flop for about 6 months before then. I was loosely aware of battling before then, supernatural, freestyle battles, stuff like that. But I wasn't aware of anything much in the UK. And then came across some Don't Flop videos. I can't remember the first one I watched, but I know that the early people I saw were like Oshea, Kruger. And, the one thing I realized is that there's a spectrum of approaches welcomed at Don't Flop. So I thought I could fit in there. And so I think I kind of like the Don't Flop thing on Facebooks. And then I saw like they were putting out information about a tryout in Essex. It was originally supposed to be in Essex.
Yeah.
So I just sent in my album, and I think got back to me, said, got your battle, and then got moved to Camden, which is like close to me, so it was even more convenient. And then just rolled up to the Fiddler's Elbow. ready to do battle for the first time.
Watch my knuckles connect with this knucklehead like we spud, but there's no love for this potato head. His brains pertain to mash. He speaks a potato mesh. Pure waffle, that's all you've ever said. Yes. Yo, I traced your spud line. DNA.
You've had many battles since there, right? I mean, many great battles in the Fiddlers.
Yeah, Fiddler's Elbow is brilliant. Brilliant.
The most prob one comes to mind, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably my favorite place to battle. I would say it's just seems like the perfect setup. The acoustics are good.
Yes,
it's a little stage where people can stand up on. It's it's a good venue, definitely.
It's interesting to see the evolution of Don't Flop through that venue as well, because you get battles like Mark Griss versus Most Prob, for example, which is both their trial, where it's on the stage in Fiddlers, and then as Don't Flop gets more popular, it kind of can become a kind of pit in itself kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
when I watched those battles, I didn't realise that was the same venue.
Yeah.
Tony D try out and people, to me, it's funny, venues always look bigger as well on YouTube, like Brixton Jam. Like I went to Brixton Jam, having watched some of the, Blood in the Water?
Oh yeah.
And then you go there and it's, this is actually the same place. I think maybe it was the fisheye lens they used to use. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Some people have said that, actually, the way the Bagnall can make rooms look bigger. I've seen that comment a few times. Yeah. That's an interesting idea. So, and it's interesting what you talk about Essex, because, there's a lot of... I remember there's another guy as well. I can't remember his name. I think it's another trialer who comes from Essex. And himself mentions the Essex contingent at the event.
Yeah. You know, I'm not sure why it didn't happen in Essex. But, I think he said he was trying to bring through some Essex boys.
And this is heavy duty. I mean, again, he's one of these kind of, also-rans who you see in these early 2012 tryouts and, whatever. He doesn't really come about anymore. He's more of a trivia answer. But, who was he to you? Were you given much to go on a SoundCloud or?
I think I had a few YouTube videos of him rapping, maybe some music. I think it's quite limited stuff, and he had limited stuff to go by. It's a good first sort of experience. Not having a lot to go by is in having to find that grain of an angle or a seed for your imagination to just go its merry way with. He basically Essex rapper. I think he was quite interesting. Watching it back, he had this sort of abstract style as well. He was
very abstract, yeah.
He also had a lot of his stuff was interspersed with religious.
Yeah, he mentions
religious imagery. He was like an early Jonai or something. Just he said I remember this. He said I was a circus freak. He's a circus freak that can wank himself off acrobatically. Now that's blasphemy. So he had an interesting interpretation of Christianity. He also said I'll catch him at the Last Supper for sexual deviance. And then he started his one of his rounds with a prayer to the Lord.
Yeah.
He said, I think to free Vibes Cartel and lock up Bruno Mars. Well, he was interesting. Yeah, he got some good reactions as well.
He did actually. And there's moments when Ur's really digging his stuff, and I'm like, this is all bad. it's just kind of lots of attacking.
I think it was hit and miss, but it wasn't too bad. Some of it was sort of interesting, and
lots of kind of indoctrination to the consciousness, kind of, and then he ends by quoting Home Alone in his first.
Was that a filthy animal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just completely irrelevant, but I mean, and then, obviously his name's Heavy Duty, so in the first, I mean, great opening line, really. Great idea that you'll find his tape in the aisles of home base. That sits with the crowd. loves it. It gets a big, people love that. It's very close. Classic Ogmios,
Yeah, take a little second. Actually, because I think one of my friends said to me that Heavy Duty, that sounds like whatever, something you buy at a DIY store. And then I was like, oh yeah, it's true. Heavy Duty tape. That was my opening gambit into Don't Flop. And to get that first reaction is very encouraging, surrounded by some of the peeps you've been watching for a while, 6 months, Kruger and Mickey Worthless and I think, yeah, all right, it gives you a little lift.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, I mean...
The crowd were great.
It's fair to say that if Don't Flop did a survey, and in the most positive way possible, obviously I'm a huge fan, but if people say who's the most unique battler in Don't Flop history, you'd be up there, wouldn't you? You do have a very different style to pretty much anyone else in the league.
Yeah, I'm definitely a left field battler. So I'm unpredictable. I think we've all got our strengths and weaknesses, and one of my strengths is that you don't really know what I might come up with.
Yep.
I have a decent imagination, and there's a few of us, I think, in Don't Flop who are a bit like that, where you're not quite. You could come with those alternative angles, and that's something I've always tried to keep. Is that in every battle, even if it's not going to be my best battle ever, is I'm trying to do something a bit different, trying to do something that hasn't been done before in a certain way, or trying to keep it fresh in some sense, but still, however loosely relevant to my opponent.
Yeah,
but yeah, big up all the left field battlers in the world, man.
Exactly, man. And it's just so refreshing. I think that's what people always say. Pete Cashmore, judging this battle and judging the Orcs battle, he's just effusive about you. He's clearly so happy to see something so different, and I completely back him.
And we need that. To me, like part of battle rap is that it's an arena where you can test different styles, different rhetoric styles against each other. So you have people from different walks of life. You can test, shuffle tees, multis, and sense of humor and angles against like Tony D's slick bars or somebody's comedy factor. And it's the crucible where it mixes up and you see what worked, what didn't work, what came out of it. And that's how you move forward, is by bringing different diverse styles together in a sort of confrontational or together manner, and then seeing, and that's why battle rap, for the most part, evolves. But there is a sense now that we are become ever more inward looking into so-called bars. So even now, I think we're in a sort of stagnant phase a little bit, where new ideas need to come within those different camps to just bring it forward again.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame. You talk about, parallel dialects going against each other. It's a shame you and Head Ice could never have, gone down.
I'm ready, man. Unless he's, hopefully.
That's got bunker battle written all over it.
Yeah, I've got bars for him. I'm ready for him. And I've got something different for him as well. So unless he was just, professional time waster, then hopefully he's still ready to do the battle someday. You know what I mean? He seems to be battling around. So, hopefully if he's coming to England, he's got to see me first, hopefully. You know what I mean? If he don't, I'm not going to do nothing, obviously. But it'll be like, I'm ready. I'd love to do that battle.
Yeah, of course. We all want to see it. And I think your first, again, just plays testament to your intelligence, really. You anticipate a lot of his angles. The fact that he chats nonsense and tries to front like he's got knowledge. He shouts words like Illuminati and economics.
That's facts. That's from one of his tracks.
Load of bollocks, tax-free shopping, duty not on it. I mean, you got name flips. They're fun, right?
Yeah, they're fun. They're like the first thing you'll explore is name flips. I think I've got a difficult name to flip though. You have.
Yeah. So I think I always love the whole make Mo's ache. I think I've been at most prob.
Yeah, that's one of my best name flips, probably. Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy imagery throughout the first, really. Lots of stuff about the bead sliding down the abacus. It's great. You're really showing who you are as a battler, all the dimensions of Ogmios in one round.
Yeah, I think it was interesting. Watching back, at my tryout, watching it back recently, I realised how much I've improved actually as well.
Oh yeah.
Because I think one thing about battle rap is it improves your writing. I'd recommend it for any rapper or poet because it really makes you think about the impact of what you're going to say. And as good as I think my tryout was, it's still, it's still it's not the tightest thing ever. And the ideas are there. But certain things I think, I would do that differently now. But yeah, I think I had a good sort of spread of humorous concepts. I forgot actually my second round. I forgot half my bars.
Yeah,
and, that's why you see me sort of for a minute. And I'm like, time, which is a good decision, rather than choke.
Yeah, that is a good exit plan, isn't it? And I do think it plays great testament to you. And I watched this battle, and I was trying to watch it kind of in a 2012 mindset, which I think would have been even more refreshing. Kind of you coming with this, kind of like, because I've got to be honest with you, I watched this tryout, this year probably or something like that. Like, I've always been a fan 4 years, but just kind of, because it's kind of later, kind of 4th birthday, whatever. But I liked his second to a certain extent. Baphomet, as I said, lots of weird words coming together that sound okay and get reaction. Zangief, if he was a crack fiend, probably his bar of the battle. And your second as well, like you say, is a bit cut short, but I like the whole, he's like the kid at school copying the kid next to you, but not knowing that kid is a div too. Crazy. Like, that really gets a big laugh.
Yeah, from what I remember, that was about half my round, and then the second half, I think it was actually some kind of word association scheme to do with chickens and beer. I'll have to dig it out someday, but I'm kind of I don't think it was anything special, so I think it was nice just to keep in that circumstance, quality over quantity.
Yeah, of course. And just in your third as well, I mean, it's kind of the same momentum as the first two, but killing it as well. Musically kill your whole spiel, I bang Glocks.
Yeah, I think I was was I the first person to use Glocks? No, probably not. But maybe. an early user of the Glock wordplay. You know what I mean? An early user.
And you pick up the win. The rest of the day, were you just kind of really enjoying yourself? Must have felt good to pick up that early scalp. Yeah,
felt good. Felt like had a good response, and overall the event was really nice. It's quite. You get as someone coming into battle rap, you get accepted very quickly. It's a really nice sort of community vibe. 1 minute no one knows you, next minute you battle, and you're part of the scene.
Yeah,
and it just builds up your hunger for more battles and getting involved.
And we've spoken about this event previous, but people else at this event, Toucan tried out, Bamalam tried out, Lefty,
Eek, Enigma, Tongue Twister,
Jesus,
Big J, Impact.
It's ridiculous.
Yes, there's a few others.
It's kind of like in a kind of very, and I don't mean the
Lefty,
but that famous kind of photo of David Cameron and George Osborne and all on the steps as schoolboys. It's like what they would become. It's like this early snapshot of all these great battlers in one time. It's kind of but without the kind of economic tragedies. Well, maybe in a certain sense, shout out Indiegogo. But another person that was at this tryout was Orcs. Was this someone? I mean, this is your next opponent. Was this someone that you had noticed that you thought, I want to battle him, or was it just the next guy they offered?
Who did he battle in his tryout?
He battled Lefty, actually.
Oh yeah. So they were both funny. So I think they tried to make. If I'm not wrong, they tried to match up styles for the top 8 in the because I battled Orcs, so we were both kind of on a humorous vibe.
Yeah.
Impact battled Bamalam, didn't he?
He did good battle.
And they both came hard with in their tryouts. So I think they put us together for a funny battle.
Yeah.
And and that's how it turned out.
Yeah, and top 8. I mean, this is a really classic tournament, isn't it? The 2012 side A, top 8. There was 2 sides to it. It just shows you how overflowing Don't Flop was talent was back then.
Definitely. It was like a I don't know why. I mean, who could say why that
Mark Grist Blizzard crop?
I mean, that explains the views, but it doesn't. To me, it doesn't explain why. Does explain why it attracted quite competent people early on. For those people to come out of one tryout who were all quite competent battlers, I think that's unusual. I've been to other tryouts since then, and you're lucky to find 2 or 3 good battlers out of them.
Yeah, that's true.
So we were maybe the Mark Grist Blizzard crop in terms of getting the attention, and decent views from that point on. But it was a good moment.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like when, say, the older people, slightly older people like your Lunas, O'Sheas, whatever, Mickeys, were still commanding those big views. So any video that kind of came out on the channel at that time just happened, by proxy of being within these giants would get big reviews,
Obviously, 4th birthday was around the corner as well, so it just led to
such a rush, and 18 months of craziness. And
yeah, and it was great to be from having your tryout straight into like a tournament.
Yes.
Just increases that appetite and competitive vibe.
And for Orcs, was it much more serious in terms of prep, or?
Orcs, yeah. You want me to, hold on. We're moving on, yeah?
Yeah.
He's from Woodley in Berkshire, where they give birth in trees and worship fire. When he don't go college, he go forage.
So obviously you versus Aukes, yeah. Aukes, great name. Obviously seen him back with Oshea recently. You guys coming together. He leads with the comedy. You're not a chart topper, you're a grasshopper, which works in his voice. Good to see Crisis behind him as well, that Reading, crew.
Yeah, little crew from Reading, yeah. We got.
And, in same way, Stowaway, his tryout was... Stowaway was Soweto Kinch's tryout, so therefore Stowaway was the first one that got able to do jazz jokes. Orcs kind of is the first to touch the whole kind of mystical, magic swami sort of thing.
That's right. He says, you spit like you're some kind of mystical magic man. Which I thought was like really on point, seeing as I only had done one battle.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really gone that mystic in that battle, but he kind of just knew that I was... Yeah. A mystical magic man. Well done to Orcs for picking on it. That was good bar.
Not as good bar. He says a good bar into a weirder bar. He says your head's incredibly shiny. He can see the reflection of those standing directly behind me. Is quite good.
Yeah.
Head shine across the country. He could see you from a helicopter, which is pretty unbelievable. That is a shiny head.
Yeah.
It's a concentric surface. And like your first, the way you open your first could be in some sort of GCSE poetry anthology. It's just kind of like perfect. It literally forms and you must have known it was going to hit. I know you can't predict stuff's going to hit, but it's just the whole, he's from Woodley in Berkshire where they give birth in trees and worship fire, the college forage, the hood deep in the all of it's just so well done.
Yeah, I mean, the reason it would be at the beginning most times is because it fits with the arc of the narrative or the theme normally, just to set the scene. I think because throughout the battle, I'm coming back to like Woodley and where he's from. So I probably put it there because that's like a scene setter and it's a funny bar. But because I said did I say Berkshire?
Yes.
And then later he rebuttals saying it's Berkshire.
Yes.
But that throws him off, rebuttaling it. And that's because he chokes, doesn't he?
He does. How do you feel about when someone chokes? I mean, he chokes instantly, pretty much, like you say in his second. Does that bother you, or?
No, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I just wish them well, and I'll be there mentally, like giving them support with a kind face.
You do look straight ahead. You don't. You're not kind of like grinning smugly.
No,
you're just kind of like, not as you would.
Just saying to him, it's all right, bro. It happens to us all.
Take a gap year out your battle career. Come back when you manifest a beard. Just stuff like take a gap year out your battle career is just fantastic. That line can work on a lot of people of Orcs' stature, but it's just great. Yeah,
because I did have this picture of him as sort of quite young, and and that's another angle I was pushing that he was. I think I said he was in the eternal sixth former.
Yes, that's an amazing line. Yeah, I love in the first. You're perfect cult fodder because you're a born follower. You eat whatever you're fed. You're not a spitter. You're a swallower.
Yeah.
Great
That's
shit.
it, man. Early spitter swallower. Bar.
And I ask you this question. I've asked a lot of writers this question. Not really to do with Orcs, but just battling in general. Why? And I'm the same. Everyone else is the same. Why is wordplay so exciting? Why does a little pun or a little meaning make us go wild when in effect it's kind of coincidental?
But is it coincidental. It's I often have long conversations with Shuffle T about this type of thing, around multis and sort of serendipity of finding two multis that fit perfectly. And there's sort of a mysticalness to language as well.
Yeah.
And when you have puns that work perfectly, or puns, it's like a little magic trick of language.
Yeah.
As long as it's the best ones obviously have the meaning go both ways. So yeah, I think it's being able to say say more than one thing with one sentence, to have those layers of meaning, that as writers is almost a goal, to be able to say many things, pertinent things often, with just the one sentence. Because how words can sound and the different sort of semantic layers of meaning.
Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it? I agree. The magic, for me, it's more the idea of the secrecy. You're finding like a little secret that was always there, and it's just kind of like, and
that's why I think that in general you should try and look for new wordplay. Unless you got a good reason, and often there are good reasons to use old wordplay. Say like steal, which is, you hear that a lot in URL, rehashed in different formats till it's done to death. And that's why it's good to know the territory of wordplay. And there's some battlers who are really good, but they're using the same generic wordplay over and over again in different ways. Whereas we got sort of infinite amount of wordplay that we can find. And so when you hear it fresh, it's going to have more impact.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to keep hearing still. And, it's fine. I think it's fine to use, say, the same wordplay if it's part of a little scheme with new wordplay in it, a new sort of conglomerate of wordplay and puns, but not all the same wordplay over and over again.
It's you and you think about puns as well. They can really hit you in the heart. Like, they can really make you react quite loudly if they're good.
Yeah.
And I'll watch a new battle mostly in silence. I won't kind of hype it up. But if there is a good line, you do kind of just almost mentally even, you do react, and that is the great thing. And it comes through most of this round, like you say, the whole eternal sixth former. It's not necessarily. It's more for me the auxiliary is where I want to get into the kind of pun wordplay. Yeah. Lots and lots of Orcs flips here, but it's a gift, isn't it? A name like Orcs, it's really like a prefix to so many words.
Yeah. Definitely. I think I did Orcs, as in Orcs Warhammer.
Yes.
Orcs input is never required. Yeah, I can't remember the rest.
Yeah, whole sound system rewired, so Orcs input is never required. really fucking good. It's just kind of a 2016 thing, isn't it? The auxiliary cable.
Yeah, but we have to mention is Derry Lee Dunkable line.
The thing is, yeah, exactly. He chokes at certain seconds, so it's kind of like, oh, battle's over. But if he really kept going from that moment, it's a big haymaker.
I think there's a big momentum swing, because I think I tailed off a bit in my second round in terms of reactions. It went a bit quiet.
Yeah.
And then you could see he was just ready, a cheeky little look on his face. And I can't remember the line, but something like, you're thin and your hair's dysfunctional. In the bath, you look like a Derry Lee Dunkable. And the place just went nuts. And I knew, I've never, at the time, I never heard of a Derry Lee Dunkable.
Right.
But, obviously from the reaction, I knew that was a big bar. And then obviously later, as I perused Google images of Derry Lee Dunkables, I realized it was a very fair comparison. But, big up on that line. And then, that was a big haymaker for his second. And he kept it coming with some funny lines. So I was lucky I had, my third in the bag, third car round to bring it home.
I mean, legendary Ogmios round, right? In many's eyes.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite sort of concept rounds that I've done, and all born from that's why for me I always do need a little seed of truth.
Yeah.
As a sort of integrity thing as a writer. It's like you could just make up anything.
Yeah.
But most of the time I need that little seed of truth. And when I find that, then it's like a relief, because I'm thinking, oh, that's what I can write about. And so he had quite close to the battle, put out a big Facebook status because his Vauxhall Corsa had been stolen. So it was kind of a little plea saying, "Have you seen this car has been nicked?" Rare, rare. So I was like, okay, it was me. And then also I ordered a Vauxhall little what's the thing? Vauxhall badge.
Yeah.
So I can make a chain out of it. Yeah. So then I was ready.
This is a crazy. Kind of similar to your Adam the Wraparound. That was like a callback to it. Yeah. Very, very nice. You go in on the whole sort of, someone stole his wheels, you know how it feels, kind of thing. What is a dusk with no dawn? Orcs would say. What is Orcs with no Corsa? Is a very nice kind of almost reminded me of your sly pretensions with the whole most prob David Attenborough thing. That kind of like a high intellectual thing. Really, really well done. You unveil a piece of the Corsa, you say, you put it round your neck. Dash CD out the window so fast that decapitated a passing falcon is incredible.
Yeah.
It does kind of hit with that kind of absurdity though, right? Really in the gut.
Yeah, you're writing a story. I'm imagining myself. I'm in his car. I'm like, what music is playing? I look in there. It's like an Orcs CD or whatever. It's put on the Ogmios album. Dash his CD out the window. So it's just in my mind as I'm writing it is, put myself in the position of.
And then Only Way You Ever Get Head Off a Bird, obviously huge reaction, kind of redeems the Orcs intro as well.
Yeah.
Just, and then is there an exhaust pun? Did I detect there? Like my ex-Orcs?
Yeah, she said, I had trembling from the chassis to the exhaust. She said it was never like that with my ex-Orcs. Had sort of sexual undertones, obviously.
It was really good. And the whole Street Fighter 2 bonus level final fight when you were smashing the car. I remember that, man. That was great. Great line.
Yeah, my car. Actually, before that, because they had thought I'd finished my round when I said head off a bird.
Yeah.
And then I said, no, I'm not finished. And then I had a few other sort of things I was doing to his car, but I cut it short because I was worried it was before I knew that, you don't really get called out for time. So I was kind of worried, I'm going to get too much time. I missed out a few other, I can't remember the way it ended. There was one punchline ended and I squirted out all of the window washer fluid. Or we were burning rubber. It's just, had some other entendres from that theme, but then I thought, fuck it, let's just go straight to the beat up the car bit.
Yeah, that's really, really good. Yeah.
But big up Orcs, man. He's a safe guy as well, and it'd be good. Good to see him battling again.
Yeah, that will be really good, and it's just one of those things where Orcs does really well, but ultimately it comes down to a pretty unanimous vote. A good friend of the show, Flex Digits, gives it to you. Calls you the Og Monster quite frequently. Nine times in 10 seconds. He just keeps calling at you. But now they're really caught on. But shout out Flex pioneering. Cashmore, quite prophetically, Pete Cashmore says you're going to be one of the real players really soon. The guy knows his stuff, it seems.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Early on, getting support from people was really uplifting, and it just gives you enthusiasm to keep doing what you're doing, especially when you're doing something slightly different. So that was really, you really take to heart, good feedback.
Yeah, and MA, final judge, is eating terrible popcorn. He tells the camera, and he calls head off a bird one of the corniest lines he's ever heard.
Yeah, I think I feel like he retracted that later. I think when we had a chat. Yeah, big up MA, man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
We used to talk often at events, and he knows his stuff. But I think maybe he misheard me. Yeah, but I think he does like that. I think he did like it when he thought about it, when he had a good little think.
And this marks your movement into the second round of the top 8. You beat Eek. You go on to battle Bamalam. I mean, for time, you've had so many great battles. We're going to have to skip through these top 8 battles, but great experience. Did you feel this really helped you develop?
Definitely, having to battle having to battle strong people in such a short space of time, really. It was going from Orcs to Eek to Bamalam after the tryout was a really good opening experience into battle rap. And yeah, obviously after Bamalam, it was slightly deflated in my own, I think, in the fact that I didn't win it, but it was a good opportunity just to reflect and see. And then you realize, actually things are really great because you're kind of established and don't flop. Yeah. And you can continue and it's just being outside of the tournament, and it's just like, just battle.
Yeah, exactly that. Did it feel freeing not to be determined by the vote? Who wins?
I don't know. I mean, at first I was like, the tournament vibe really captures you if you're progressing in a tournament. And it's like why having a title shot actually changes the dynamic of battling, because it is in people's minds, and you do, and if you're in a possible contention, it will just affect, maybe the battles you take or what your goals are. But really, ultimately it's just about having the best battles that you can have. That's what really matters.
And, it's fair to say that you're not one of these battlers where you have 20 battles out, and I wouldn't say any of your battles people don't really know about, if you know what I mean. It's kind of like all of your battles are pretty well viewed. People really seem to respond to your stuff. But one of these battles, before we get onto the Adam the Rapper clash, you're teaming up with a guy called Free J. You're going against Pamphlet and Impact. I mean, what a random assortment. How did this occur?
Yeah, I mean, like Free J he's a friend of mine.
Right.
And his original rap name was Pendragon.
Oh, okay.
And he actually tried out against Stowaway back in the day.
Oh, right.
And but he forgot bars during that battle, had choked a bit, even though his stuff was really good. But Stowaway was just, Stowaway's wicked. He was one of the early people I watched Stowaway as well. Shout out to him. So it seemed like he wanted to get back into the battle rap vibe, and so they were looking for a 2-on-2 for an event. I think Bam was doing it down in Brixton. And so just jump on it against Pamphlet and Impact. And in the end, we couldn't do it at the place, and it was like an open air swimming pool, so we had to do it in the car park. Which was good, but Pamphlet and Impact just were too strong for us. Yeah. Too strong. A good team up there from St Albans. They're a powerful duo.
Yes, they would make a really good team actually.
Yeah.
I need to check that battle out. I was just interested to how it went down. I'll have to watch it. But quick battle with Youth Oracle, who was also on the come up. But we come into. I mean, also just quickly, Youth Oracle, big loss for the league, isn't he? What a great battler he was.
Yeah, he was a great battler. And when I battled him, he didn't actually have a battle out. So Kruger had to send me the footage because he'd done one battle.
Right.
But had said, this is going to be a good battle, and so I said, cool. Mm-hmm. And it turned out to be a really good battle, and Euphoric was dope, and he's still dope, and really good guy, and it's definitely a shame that he's not battling on Don't Flop anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is a great shame. And I should say, just on the kind of views count as well, you're averaging 70,000 views, which is very impressive for 20 battles, man.
Thank you.
Are you interested in that, or is it just whatever to you?
I guess to a degree that it can help you get battles, maybe. I don't know how much it plays into the mind of the people putting on battles. But it depends how many battles you do, you know what I mean, as well. It's like some people got one massive battle and the rest are quite low, or there's people who just battle on a lot of small leagues, but actually there's quite a lot of demand for them. So it is interesting, but at the same time, it is what it is. Yeah.
And we push on then to 4th birthday, Adam the Rapper.
So Adam's in a band called Old Mayor, where they wrestle with the heavy metal, and he shrieks like a man that's been possessed by a devil. It's the combined sound of a guitar being smashed in two, while a donkey's tongue is being bitten out by a rabid shrew. And that's an actual quote from one of your better reviews.
44th birthday in Euro is one of the classic Don't Flop events, Ogmios.
Yes, yeah. I was so glad to be on that event. The setup was amazing. The venue, Cable, with that raised stage, the sort of balcony area, the whole vibe, the battles on that, Shotty Horror Arsenal, all these crazy battles. So I think me and Adam Rap was supposed to happen at another time. And then I asked her, I said, can we jump on like the 4th birthday then maybe? And he was like, yeah, cool. And then I think we were the first battle maybe.
First battle on the second day, it seems.
Second day, right, yeah. So it was great because then after that you can just chill. And I know Adam the Rapper from outside battling. From mutual sort of rapper friends, Strange Love and different people, and and I'm friends with him, and just one of the people I respect so much as a battler. I just wish he battled more because I love listening to him.
He's one of the most slept on ever in Don't Flop, right?
Definitely. Jeez. He's got that, he's got great angles, he's got a poetic flow.
Yeah.
Without being a sort of stolting poet, he just brings like a really interesting vibe to his battles.
I completely agree, and I think this makes sense as a matchup. But he'd been battling for a while, right? He'd been in Don't Flop a long time.
Yeah, but I think he just didn't battle that often, maybe.
Yeah. Really exciting clash between you two, and Adam, nice section at the start, but something you encounter a lot in battles in various guises, the long stream of multis that detail food.
Yeah. What is that about? Yeah.
I don't know. It comes up. It's either for a fat person, how much they eat, or for a thin person, how much they should eat, or it's just kind of, you can interchange whatever.
Yeah.
These are a few of my favourite things. Always what it reminds me of, that kind of addiction. But you looking ropey, as in you look like a rope.
That's funny. That was funny. It looked like a rope.
The whole idea of like you being on a beat and there being like a civil war in your mouth between your teeth, like fighting.
Yeah.
Like,
he had funny bones he referenced.
Yeah, there's a lot of you look like when people battle.
Yeah,
that's it. O'Shea especially seems to go in on that.
Yeah, he killed it with that actually.
quite a fair bit. Yeah, we'll get into that battle. So you begin. Ain't living hip hop, bruv. Look like you live in a hippo's bum fluff.
Yeah. A bit abstract, but
good opener though.
Yeah, just think he's a bit scruffy at times, big off him.
And as we say, when he's doing the pretentious poetry thing, he goes by his government name, Adam Camelin. As we said, body bag big enough to fit you in a damn camelin. I mean, it seems obvious, but it's
I think I actually not mispronounced it, but didn't put I remember saying that. And I was like, put you and Adam Camelin. I should have said it like a damn camelin. So I think like people didn't catch it because.
Okay.
I'm not sure I said it right.
Camelin. Yeah, I didn't even get that. I wrote that down. I didn't even get that. That's very good. Yeah. The idea of Adam being the original naming machine. Really nice
like
stuff. The whole Jewish to a druid. Elbow to the tip of the middle finger. Stupid. Just. The whole Jewish thing's great. Adam's a victim when they force skin to have the extra incision.
I think I remember I had a comment or something. I don't know, a message or a comment from someone who was like, actually, Jewish history goes back to this one. I can't remember what it was exactly, but I got into a little,
oh shit,
just a little friendly debate about who came first or whatever.
I learned this word just through watching Seinfeld, but could have set this in your bris. Which I believe is the kind of ceremony for the incision.
That's right, yeah.
Go on.
But bris is where you get circumcised, and then what did I say? I said, they force kin to have that incision, something like that. Yeah.
Dickhead ain't cut out for this. You got to, right? You got to. Reminds me of the Chiller, like, dickhead get cut, a suit for Sir comes.
Chiller's going to use that for sure. For sure. Yeah. He just ain't watched the battle yet.
Versus Chiller. That's better than Sharon versus Chiller.
Yeah. Should be. I'm ready for Chiller, man. I've wanted to battle him for a while, but he's just ducking me. He just needs me there to take my bars, and then you know what I mean. He's feeding. He's like a feeding off the the lower echelons, like a predator. He's a wordplay predator.
Do you rank Chiller highly on the? I mean, you triple entendres. You wanted to include him in your crew.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't approached him yet. You know what I mean? And I still got to solidify it with QP as well. We haven't really had a Skype session yet. You know what I mean? So. But yeah, he's welcome. No, he's dope, Chiller Jones. I do rate him, and like he's obviously welcome in the triple entendres. That would be great. It would be a real crew.
Oh my god, there's so many crews now, isn't there? Especially in URL battle rap, there's so many crews.
Yeah.
Daylight has a crew now. The X-Men and all that shit. Like, if you three just came out, that would change shit.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Triple entendres versus Dot Mob event would be crazy. Oh, that would be good. You mentioned Kabbalah. That's like the Jewish kind of
mysticism.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Madonna was involved in that, or was that?
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it's kind of a popular culture knowledge of that. I don't really know much about the actual theology. Adam the Rapper, you selected the default character. Really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice. And Adam's stuff's really funny because you get a bit of the kind of school stuff in your battles, but his idea of like the swimming classes being timed to like lunar cycles is pretty funny.
Yeah, that's funny, man. I liked his bit about beach, where I was saying I was fornicating with trees. I was joke, beach.
He'll knock you out, steal your book, and read it quicker.
Yeah, that's a real poet. And he was like, I'm you're a wood splinter. I'm a wood splitter. I throw you in the wood chipper. You're a book sniffer. I steal your book. Read your book quicker. That's what I love about him. The way he phrases things, he's just, he knows his stuff, man. His poetry.
And you kind of attack that in the second. You talk of a poem that he did where he splits himself in two, a conscious dude lecturing an ignorant dude.
That's an actual poem that I watched of his. And like he was like, I think you're right in terms of the criticism as a critique of that poem.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, it's hard to write standalone spoken word poems that can't be critiqued, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I thought it was a funny little angle.
And another funny angle, and what I love about your battling as well is, a lot of people will say, it takes too long, pauses, whatever. And you're never afraid to not poke fun at yourself for that, and you are clearly aware of that. You talk about, him putting on his special poetry slam cardigan, and then, the idea of the slam being a place where you get points for lingering on words, dramatic pauses. You need to know where this tournament is, you say,
Honestly, I don't know why I'm got involved in it still.
That's true.
I think I just haven't written any poems, as such that I could perform, but I could, I know there's no I could do that shit.
And there was I love references in battles that date certain eras of battling, and here's a very 2012 reference. This is Fight Club, not Poetry Nightclub. This is Mickey Worthless going club.
not your mum saying that's very nice, love.
Yeah. And great little twist. Quoting DNA as well at the end, quite nice.
Oh yeah, what did I say?
You say "get the fuck out of here."
Oh, was I quoting him? Maybe,
Were you? Maybe, yeah. I didn't really. I just sort of felt the Mickey. I don't know. You just kind of like using battling as a way to attack him, but maybe you weren't.
Maybe I think at the end as well, I did a kabaddi reference.
Indian wrestling, was that?
Yeah, so it's like this. They used to show it on Channel 4 when I was much younger, a kid, and it's like this game where you have two teams and you have to sort of break into the other half to touch someone and then get back to your side without getting caught.
Yeah.
But the whole time you have to show you're holding your breath, you have to say kabaddi, 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 kabaddi. That was a reference to that.
Nice. You got to write for yourself, man. You have to write for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's a balance, isn't it? You can't be, obviously, I do agree that to make things as universal as possible, but a few little obscure references as a certain percentage of your content is fine, as long as it's not too self-indulgent. But I prefer those type of things than too many internal references to battle rap. Whereas I think that's dying away now because people referencing things that have happened in battle rap, kind of inside things. It's just like it's too niche.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Especially when you first got into Don't Flop, I was like, "Who the hell's Holly Masters?" Like, it was just kind of in-joke stuff. And Adam's third is excellent as well. Like you say, it has that beach line, fucking trees, a nice just attack on the spaced out hippie kind of idea. The show in Brighton was quite exciting until Ogmios started rhyming.
That's true. We did have a show together. Yeah.
Stage presence of Mormon with ME. Which is pretty bleak. I love the whole third of yours, repping Gully side, Brighton, Sea Gully side, like and then of course you have the bike thing, which we said, which is similar to the car thing. The treat her the same way father did the mother, straight out the frame when I split the rubber. Like,
I step out the frame as soon as I split the rubber. So it's like that. I guess it's one of these word association schemes.
The bird spoke to you. The bike spoke to you, which is
Yeah, so she gave me a serial number. When she tire lever.
put my helmet in a tube and pump her.
Yeah, that's a bit tenuous there.
That felt very Ogmios, that bar, actually, when you said that. I was like, you're very rarely quite sexual, so it's quite interesting to see that,
except with like inanimate objects.
Actually cars and bikes.
But fuck your bike, man. But like all based from Adam having his tire slashed in Stokey, and he accused Tony D of doing it. So like that little seed of truth, and then running with that. And at the time, it was a time of word association schemes. Mm-hmm. But I think it works, because it makes sense both ways. You know what I mean? And even though we've moved away, rightly from all these word association schemes, I think it's still quite watchable as a scheme.
Yeah, entirely.
I think, watching it back as well, like I think Soul he was judging it. And he was kind of questioning, whether it was still battle rap or whether, it was really battle rap, my third round, which is a fair enough question. But I think since then, I reckon he would have probably changed his mind a little bit, because since then it's like, well, what is battle rap? It's gone so indirect, a lot of it, but... So
you do an awesome scheme of battlers who are battling there as well.
The classic. Everyone have ideas. Who's on the card? But you know what I said? I think someone said to me, you predicted like the Jefferson Price caustic thing.
What?
Well, because I said something about something sold and like you paid the price because you caused it.
Wow.
It was a joke. So I was actually judged for that battle.
Oh, wow.
And talking about whether it's battle rap or not, I've judging, I thought obviously Caustic won it, but I was like, well, his third round is like, I don't know what that's all about. You know what I mean? At the time, we didn't, I don't know if that's true or not. It just seemed a bit like, what is that?
And, we spoke just now about mentioning things that you love in battles. Zatoichi? What is that? Who is that?
Zatoichi's a film. Yeah, it's a film. There's been a couple of them about a blind man who's an incredible martial artist. But there's a question over whether is he actually blind. I'm not going to say nothing in case people want to see it, but it's a great film.
Okay.
So it's a reference to that, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I need to check that out. So, in the end, 3-2 split decision, which, I mean, is the right decision, really, for this battle. It's a fantastic battle on both sides.
Could have gone either way.
Yeah, I mean, you say that in the interview, and that's very rightfully so. Double L gives it to you in the judging. Yeah. Definition felt Adam was conceptually more successful, so he gives it to Adam.
Yeah.
Soul goes with Adam, and like you say, says, you need to draw a line. What is battling? Even though you're really entertaining.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think,
And Mickey Worthless, who you quoted in your second, thinks your whole second was whack.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
No, I don't know why he thinks that. He really didn't understand any of it, apparently. And it's nice to see you and Adam, in the interview afterwards. It's great to see, great, reminiscing there and stuff like that. It must have felt great because I think a lot of people, myself included, see this very much as the sort of solidification of you in the high ranks of Don't Flop, this battle.
I think so. It felt like that I could be part of a big card like that, and have a good battle.
Yeah.
And so that really did feel like a step up. As you say, a solidification into the ranks of DF.
And the hunger in these years you were battling so often.
I was always hungry. Yeah. Vegan life. I was actually raw vegan when I first started battling.
Right. So what does that mean for our listeners?
That means I wasn't eating anything cooked.
Right.
I was only, for 2 years I was raw vegan, so I was just eating uncooked things like, raw, bananas, a lot of bananas, eating like 10 bananas a day. Dates,
can't that kill
smoothies.
you? The potassium, the amount of potassium, or is that a myth?
That's a bit of a myth.
Okay.
I know, there's probably if you ate 100 bananas, but it's pretty hard to get, I think, realistically get potassium poisoning from eating bananas. There's some raw vegans out there who eat like 20 bananas a day, loads of bananas, and they're doing all right.
And, everyone seems to have that moment in their battling career when they kind of get to the top and they just start killing it regularly because it just becomes easy. And I think it's fair to say that your next 3 battles, none of which we're really going to talk about, unfortunately, because, 2 of them I've digged in depth with.
Good.
And of course, one of them I'm hoping to dig in depth with, maybe with the guest himself. But these are 3 battles that I absolutely adore. Most prob, C major, matter. What happened? I mean, were you just? Did you just understand battling? Because these 3 are all classics of Don't Flop, no question.
Yeah, I think that sort of I hit a purple patch there.
Yeah.
Between I think most prob.
Yeah.
As you say, C major, most prob, matter.
Oh, the real deal battle's still great. Don't get me wrong.
And real deal, and I think I'm not sure. Maybe I was starting to understand battling a bit more in terms of punchlines. Because I can see them, I'm gradually improving. I think over those between like the early battles and now these sort of battles, even from the Ad and the Rapper battle, in terms of a bit tighter writing. And like most prob is probably one of my favorite battles that I've done, and that I've been involved in, and just from my side as well, just where I feel like it was nearly, even though I sort of choked at the end of the 3rd, if I hadn't choked at the end of the 3rd, I think I would have felt like, well, that's one battle that is kind of flawless, that I'd really enjoy. Whereas every other battle, I'm like, that bit, so, and those set the standard events like BAM was organising. So BAM, I think, arranged me in C major, and that was a little run for me, I think. Definitely.
Yeah. Just a few questions about these battles, or a few things I just want to talk about that I've always loved about these battles. First thing I've always been curious about, Ogmios, how did you get most prob's dad's middle name?
Google. I think I Googled like most prob.
Yeah.
I think his dad I don't give out more information about his dad.
All right. I know. Google.
It turned up that his dad's name was Leslie.
Right.
So I said, right, I'm going to have to use this.
Yeah, everyone needs to check that out. But I mean, just that battle, wow, I love that battle so much as well. And it's great to see there's TV references in your battles sometimes. Don't happen too often. We're going to dig into Oshea in a second. There's an amazing Game of Thrones reference to that. But even more than Game of Thrones, 2 shows that I am more of a fan of personally, Sopranos and The Wire. It's great to see you reference both. Probably the best Wire bar ever dropped on Don't Flop, the Presbeluski bar.
Okay.
Even better than some of Soul's ones, and I love Soul, but
thank you, appreciate that.
Cop first, teacher later. That is an obscure bar as well, but anyone that knows that season 4 shit is just
Presbeluski.
Yeah, Roland, sweet man.
Yeah,
and then Chris, the whole Chris Tony thing, Chris Lee's Tony, and then Chris Moltisanti, Tony Soprano in Matter is,
That's right, yeah. But some people were upset about the spoilers in that scheme.
It's years later after the finale.
Yeah, they were only still, but sometimes people come back to series later, don't they? And and they're halfway through it, and then Ogmios is telling them who gets killed. It's like, fuck's sake. I can feel their pain, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And the Real Deal battle again, like, you know, an international, was this a big milestone for you? You know, it'd only been like not even a year since the Adam the Rapper battle, and it was just, the acceleration was mad.
Yeah, I think that was on paper like one of the battles I was like, this is tough.
Yeah.
Because Real Deal is like such an all-round battler, such a solid, as I said in the thing, solid battler. And I was really delighted to come out of it, you know, as a debatable or at least a decent battle.
Yeah, really good battle. I think one of the better battles of the event. You know, well received.
Yeah, it was a good one. Big up Real Deal. He was a good guy, a very nice chap.
Yeah, gave a good showing. So another great chap, another legend, Oshea.
Yeah.
You know,
Osh.
like, versing Oshea is like a crowning achievement. It's like, you know, Hall of Fame status, isn't it? It's like a big honour.
It's an honour.
It's so easy if you got the formula correct. He drank X amount of Y and puked up on Z. What a ledge. What I allege is, you can't write, but you're a funny guy. Some battlers drop an average bar and say something like, you have to qualify every other line with fucking shite.
Yeah, he was one of the earliest people I watched on Don't Flop and gave me the impetus, along with like Kruger, Stowaway, these people that it's like, oh man, this guy's just hilarious. He's being himself. And so yeah, to battle him was brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, huge match at this point. Both of you are massive names. O'Shea's, you know, had been a massive name since Don't Flop's inception, really. This is on Raise the Bar. This is a mega event on a fairly small scale tour, really.
This is just a UK, wasn't it?
Yeah.
UK. I think it was after. Was it after like Don't Flop had been messed about by a few internationals?
Right.
This is what I think anyway. From a vibe I'm feeling, it was like maybe Urs just had it with some of these internationals just messing him about, and he was like, let's do a UK versus UK event and show that we can have a great event, high levels with just our own battlers, and it came out like that, definitely.
Yeah. Oh no, I do remember actually. I think he put on Viewpoint or Twitter or something like, you know, he was so proud of the event because it really showed how strong the UK cards were.
Yeah.
It's true, really. I mean, you know, love King of the Dot, but I don't think an all Canadian card will be as good as an all UK Don't Flop card.
Never.
It's just it's not going to happen. Like, the depth of talent is still there, and this card was testament to that. I mean, some of the battles, like I remember, like Youth Tony wasn't as good as it should have been, but it was still okay. Like, you know. There was still some crazy bar. I mean, Tony obviously had turned a mic on Gareth Bale bar, which was kind of incredible. But I mean, battling O'Shea as well, it is a gift to battle O'Shea, isn't it, in a way, because there's just so much to say.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I guess, like, is there so much to say?
Well,
I'm not sure. Like, he so obviously Scouser, and hello.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, he's obviously Scouser and been around a lot. I don't know, like, you know, if his things about him that are easy to write for or not. Yeah, it's just another battle.
And, you know, again, the brainstorming for this, getting ready for this, was this the same process, or, you know, were you taking more time with this? Was this something very important to you, or?
I don't remember. Like, basically, all my battles seem to be going at that time, were going the same way, where I was just increasingly not being able to finish the material till extremely close to the battle.
Yeah.
So most of the time I was finishing the writing the day before. Or like some battles on the morning of the battle.
No.
And then I have like a couple hours to just run through it. And luckily I have got a good memory.
Yeah.
Whereby I can just, and I write sort of in a narrative.
Right.
So most of the time I can remember it all, but sometimes I'm reaching, you know, you can obviously see me reaching for what the next bar is. So yeah, it would have been similar to that, but I think I actually watched this battle back on 1.5 speed on YouTube.
Right.
And yeah, which I did with a couple others. I watched QP back on 1.5 speed as well. And at 1.5, I'm like the greatest to ever do it at 1.5 speed. or at 1.25, yeah, but 1.5 speed, the flow is merciless along with the bars. So yeah, it was a good battle. He came out with some really funny comparisons.
Well, his first,
go on.
His first is just kind of classic O'Shea, isn't it? His first is really good.
Yeah, is it in his first? He calls me Crichton.
I think so. Yeah.
That's good because my head has got kind of angles like that. I like that. Call me the guy Sonny from iRobot.
Sonny from iRobot is crazy. Paul,
the flat guy from Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. Rapping like sucking grey alien dick. Battle going one way like Barry Chuckle phoned in sick.
Boss.
That is crazy shit. And then he ends with his weird slogan.
What was that about?
So it was like, do him like Toucan Son pop, smack his ass dot mob. My bar's so hot, I say random words twice. What? So, I mean, we all need a closer, I guess.
That was terrible, yeah. That's one of the worst slogans I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I don't think you've done it again, so you realised. But it was the time. It was a different time, a time of slogans, And I tried to do a slogan, but who am I to talk? I've never had a slogan, so
that is true. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, so I can't cast. Greetings. Yeah, I suppose that was kind of a slogan, but lacked the
it's not very long.
The join-in ability.
Yeah. Once it starts, you got to know it.
Yeah. What's Tally's one? It's like car.
Yeah. You know who's back. Like the car's just there to get people interested. Like,
how's it go?
You know who's back, Tally.
I
don't want to hear no loose chat, something like that.
I just get him. That's a good slogan.
That is a good slogan.
Yeah.
I love that slogan. That slogan gets you hyped. What I like about this battle, I think this is one of your best battles. Those past three are just immaculate, but this is another brilliant battle. You really go for the neck on O'Shea on this one, don't you?
Yeah.
You really attack him. I mean, but it's like, I love O'Shea, and it's like you dismantle him convincingly. It's like, oh God.
I feel I try to go for the sloppiness aspect of him sometimes. Just the drunkenness, the fact he's still going. That's what I say. I can't remember what I said, but it ended up like a test. That was a testimonial game.
That bar hits so hard. I mean, especially with the kind of football inference as well. It really kind of relates it so well.
Yeah. Had the knock. No, that got a good reaction.
Crazy.
That bar that said that I liked, I was like, I built up to about how he's drunkard, and I was like, because a legend half cut just ends up legless.
How are you going to stand up to my lexicon when your legs are gone?
Wow. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, crazy. You mentioned Sprungy. I remember watching this bar, remembering you talking about Sprungy's racism and never quite getting it, knowing who Sprungy was and kind of believing you, but not knowing the evidence. And then when I did my Best of O'Shea video, check it out on the Battle Resume channel, there is a video, I won't quote it, but Sprungy does say something quite racist, quite openly. And
that's the video I saw. Yeah, it's like, what is this about?
Everyone's just like ashamed and like O'Shea's, it's not. I do recall the video. What a legend, synonymous, bell end and legend. Every other line with fucking shite, you're fucking right. Half the times. A bar that O'Shea clearly doesn't get, dropping more apologies than in a Japanese city.
Yeah, why did I say that?
I guess it's because you're talking about how, every other line he's like, sorry, that was shit.
Sorry, that was shit. Yeah, I said you should commit harikiri.
Disembowel yourself if you ever found the guts.
Harikiri, Japanese, doesn't quite work as a multi.
No, but it was very nice, though, to hear that word in a bar. Very good section. Great. I mean, I love that section. The whole round, I think, is one of your... I don't want to say one of your best, because I mean, like, I need to kind of compare them all, but like, it's so enjoyable, and closing out with the Game of Thrones thing as well. Oshea, bran flakes, cereal, it's madness, that line.
Yeah, because I had like a Red Dwarf line.
Yeah, you moved from late 80s shows to Game of Thrones.
That's right, yeah. I thought my Red Dwarf ones were probably slightly better, but because I watched that since I was a kid. I was a late comer to Game of Thrones, but
right.
And then the flossy stuff like I enjoyed that because that was funny. Watching that, his last battle, I think before was Charlie Clips, and that whole thing where she chucks the orange on stage and like, big up to O'Shea and Flossie because they are two of the nicest people I've met in battle rap. Like,
O'Shea is the absolute.
Recently had the event grime clash, and up in Liverpool. And like O'Shea and Flossie like looked after me good, and they just helped me, you know what I mean, get some sleep, eat the right things, know where the station is. They're such blessed people, and pick up them. And it was great to battle O'Shea, definitely.
Yeah, of course, and it really was a great showing for you. And O'Shea doesn't do badly in his second. I mean, he has kind of a bad flip that's kind of an omen, really, where he's like, you look like every character from every house of Game of Thrones, and he's just kind of like, what?
every character.
Every single character.
What, like even Peter Baelish?
Yeah.
And, who's that bald? That is a bald guy, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't really watch the show myself, but I'm aware of the characters, and I think it was maybe a little bit kind of like, I remember there was a bar like that where O'Shea said pamphlet looks like every Premier League international footballer ever, or something like that. That kind of works a bit better. Like, I think the Game of Thrones thing is a bit too different, but I mean, more physical comedy, more comparisons. You look like the aliens from the Argos adverts is pretty good.
Oh, not any of the Oggy.
Yeah.
Like my mum calling for me. Oi.
Some Hebrew, Jewish tea. I mean, lots of random bars, really.
Yeah, random.
I quite liked, you look like you disagree with fracking, but at the same time believe in dragons.
Yeah.
And then he ends with his toucan, pop.
Yeah, I think it's slightly like, it was pretty half-hearted by the end. He's like, I've got to do this slogan again.
And it kind of reminds me in the second of like a Rube Goldberg machine or whatever it is, the way you paint the picture, like a Renaissance picture of like Flossie clips the oranges, O'Shea caught in the midst of it. Like, the detail's fantastic, man.
Painting the scene.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And then, you cut through it clean, which is some very kind of, down to earth bars. How are you going to be word associating with words, something you barely associate with? Something that gets slept on, the precocious. Let me show you what a prick-osh is. I can tell you now, me and my friend Danny were obsessed with that line after that battle.
Yeah.
Like, we used to love that line. That is just like perfect. Like, you talked about wordplay earlier and the originality. That is what we need. That's why battle rap's so good, isn't it? Unless you were facing O'Shea, that pun would not work.
Yeah, it's relevant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. These days, people just stacking up on bars for any old fool. It's like,
they might be
they might be amazing. They're still probably, it's watching, but it's like, it's part of the fun of battle rap is that it's all tailor-made. It's all occasional rap for that occasion, and it's you'd never know what you're going to come up with then from that point onwards. Whereas that's why it can become a little bit generic. It's just endless, bars about steel and this and that.
Yeah. I get ratchet as well. Comes up a hell of a lot. And again, situational stuff. The way you're mad vicious with dash that citrus.
She's mad vicious. I see the way she dashed that citrus. Is that what happens to your dinners? I could have multed that better.
Yeah.
But,
it was nice though, man. And again, sort of domestic abuse through fruit, pineapple on his head like Jason Lee.
Oh yeah, I'm glad the crowd sung along with that. They got in. Yeah. But then, like after that, I saw an article that Jason Lee felt a bit oppressed by the song. Not me, obviously, but like generally, he felt. Looking back, he felt he'd been like. Sort of abused by the crowd, always singing about the pineapple on his head, and it caused him to cut his hair and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so maybe I was a bit harsh there, bringing up that.
And O'Shea, I mean, he closes third by saying that you've won.
Yeah,
interesting.
I was like, I've got one more round, bro.
Yeah. Shit Bars gets his dick hard, he says in the third.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he just didn't. I mean, I'm not. Obviously, I love O'Shea. O'Shea's the best.
Yeah,
he is
the best.
I'm not. Obviously, he's just the greatest guy. He's been on the show. He's going to be on the show again. He's a great guest as well. But it's just a bit. It's not even disappointing, really. It's just kind of like he's battled so much. He still does well. He didn't choke or anything. He has Yunan's tits. You look like a Tommy knocker. It's not bad.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. But
It's not great.
like I've seen O'Shea better, definitely.
Oh man, yeah, of course.
O'Shea versus Tony D. That's one of my favorite battles, and I think he might have taken that, in my opinion.
I agree.
Oh, you agree? Yeah, definitely.
I do agree. I think definitely. I think what cost Tony is the con scheme.
Please.
I think it's overrated. I have to say.
I don't understand that scheme at all.
No.
But obviously Tony D's the GOAT.
Yeah,
so,
no doubt.
But that scheme, mate, I won't think that scheme, and I think that's O'Shea took that.
Yeah, and I agree. I think Tony D, for me, it's after he became champ that I really started to like his writing. I think he just got better and better, and I don't know if have you checked out any of his dialect or surfer Templar kid?
No, that's just come out recently.
Yeah, they just came out, both of them. Yeah.
No, he's just casually doing it, and he's just casually just breezing through his battles, just being dope, dope as fuck, and he's battling shocks in it.
Oh man, yeah.
That should be interesting.
Cannot wait for that. And Ogmios is a Celtic god. O'Shea reminds us. Watch me stab him to death in a ranger's top.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That's pretty funny. If he's heard some shit through the grapevine, he literally heard it through a grapevine.
That's funny.
It is funny.
Yeah.
And then just crazy shit. It's fun to see you playing like the tannoy in the supermarket at the end of the third as well.
Yeah.
Pretty hilarious idea there. And then the French at the end. The crowd don't seem that interested in that.
The what?
When you do like the sort of French. You do like a little French impression.
What was I thinking?
Yeah, what was that?
I think I had come up with like a scheme in French.
Right.
What? Oh my God. Sometimes you think, but that's what I mean. I don't really watch back summer battles, but if I've got I don't mean to say I know I've got weaknesses, but one of my weaknesses is definitely like, saying too weird stuff or waffling on a bit. But what did I say? I said, O'Shea. Shay's lounge. Shay? No, it was, but basically all the French words would say house, sofa, house, O'Shea, sofa, king, shit, again, something like that.
Yeah.
Just nonsense, man. What the fuck? But like, obviously, correct wordplay and stuff in a different. Oh, maybe because I say Google Translate. I think that was my rationale. Yeah. It's funny where rationale.
Well, I mean, O'Shea said you won at the start of the round, so I mean, it didn't. It didn't matter too much. But this again, I mean, by this point, everyone thought you were kind of, like obviously in the highest echelons of Don't Flop, and it was a crazy battle on your part. And before we get onto QP. It seemed like you'd almost risen above kind of standard opponents now when you were battling like returning people like Lego, you were battling foreigners like QP and Nils. It was very impressive again.
Yeah, I've most times I've just gone with what or Don't Flop I thought would be a good battle for me, and I've been happy with that. Nils and Skills one, I actually had a feeling that wasn't, because I think that was old. By the time it happened, everyone was asking for that battle for the first couple years of me battling. By the time that got announced, no one had been asking for the battle, and I did have a feeling the energy would be too low, and that if I didn't come and I didn't have my best battle, and that it would just be, which is a shame because I like Nils and Skills. But apart from that, just trying to take battles, you know what I mean? Trying to stay relevant. It's hard these days, all these whippersnappers with their bars. You know what I mean? Trying to say, look, I could battle him. I could battle Shocks the Rebel and Raptor and these up-and-comers. But, so I think, I could understand why some people don't want to battle me because I'm unpredictable. Yep. It's like you don't know exactly what you get with me, and so you're not guaranteed like a bar against bar classic where everyone what you get. You go up, do your bar, spit your bars, well done, go home. Who won? Who cares? You know what I mean? But I might rip you apart, think of something out of the box, or I might just be a bit like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not much, I can see why certain people are avoiding me. Yes.
And by this point, we'll get into early 2015 here. Any call from King of the Dot?
King of the Dot? No.
Yeah.
No. Have I had a call from King of the Dot? I don't think so. Maybe
any call from any other leagues? Because have you battled outside Don't Flop?
No, I'm just a Don't Flop warrior.
That's
you know
crazy,
what I mean?
man. That's great.
I'm like a brand, a company man.
Yeah, you're like
Yes,
K-Rock for URL.
It's just like, you're battling, yes. But I would, I tell you what, I wouldn't go and look into what happened to Dialect and Euphorical when they're both dope battlers, and they go over and battle the King of the Dot in Toronto or wherever, and everyone's just talking over their battles. I wouldn't want to put myself in that situation personally. I felt for them because they're dope, and I would battle somewhere like what's going on with Avocado and the Bunker.
Yeah.
If I went out there, if I battled King, it had to be like there, because obviously he's more suited to me, and also like you're not going to have people just talking over you, and it's like, what's that about? So actually, like, one battle I was maybe going to do was Cadillac Run on some format. That would have been a nice battle, but apart from that, no, I don't think. From what I remember, I've had calls from other leagues, Welsh leagues or Northern leagues or Southern leagues, but I haven't taken them yet. I think the thing is, like, if I take them, it would be for money, because for whatever reason you can get more money, but really, I'm battling mainly for the craft, for the love. If Don't Flop still keep looking after me, then it's all blessed.
And when you can battle people like QP on Don't Flop, then it's like, why would you go anywhere else? They can pretty much get you anyone in that regard, and
exactly. There's like Don't Flop USA.
Yeah.
So obviously King Dot brings you that King of the Dot, maybe some King of Dot attention, but it's like, unless you're going to be, like Soul's done brilliant on terms of getting the coverage on King of the Dot, and he had some great battles out there. But he was battling there, he done a few battles there. But QP was a nice matchup, definitely. I hadn't ever thought of battling until mentioned it. And then I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Had you been a fan of his for a while? Obviously, he is. Maybe you're not similar in an obvious way, but you're both on other ends of the same seesaw of kind of wordplay.
I was quite aware of him, but I became much more aware of him, and more of a fan, researching for the battles.
Right.
As a QP, and you start looking at the battles, I'm like, whoa, you have to respect him so much. He's he's battling all the time.
Yeah.
He's just true to his craft as his style of wordplay. He's like the artisan of his themes, and some of them are brilliant, and he's getting better. I think I saw one recently. I can't remember what battle, maybe Chiller Jones or something, and just his delivery as well was really improved, and he's just really true to the art. He's just traveling around America just battling. Even though he's got a chaotic lifestyle and stuff, he's just he's just true to the words, man. He's a real pioneer.
Bruv, word association, we all dabble in it. You and your associates are the worst known addicts. Shit, you all met online, cracking heads for lines, some kind of national crackhead alliance. Most crews set together for a common cause. You lot have legendary conference calls.
I am obviously a huge addict of wordplay and that sort of way of writing, and he's an absolute genius. There's no other two ways about it. Some of his battles might be a little dense and not entertaining in the obvious sense, but they're always worth just listening to, almost. Just the way he arranges words is mad. It truly is wordplay. He's really playing with ideas. And,
that's it. And as you say, it can be a little dense. It's like, Daylight sometimes. Listening to Daylight can be a bit difficult because it's supposedly layered, even though I'm suspicious of a lot of Daylight schemes.
Me too, actually, yeah.
I think, if I haven't got I've never had the energy to really look at them closely and break them down, but I feel like a lot of them would just, collapse into nothing. But I'd still like Daylight. But
you versus Daylight.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows what would happen. But Yeah, so said, but QP is definitely has more substance in general to his schemes. But again, like, it can be a little lost in the moment.
And, you know, QP isn't QP without the controversies. This was meant to go down on a normal event that had to be delayed.
Yeah, so this was supposed to be on the Atlanta at this venue.
Right.
The first DF USA card. So basically, like, don't flop, we're going to fly him. This is as far as I know everything. But like, don't flop, we're going to fly him from California to Atlanta. But he has had, or I don't know, he had issues with some goons or whatever in Atlanta who wanted to do him harm, do him mischief. So he had to bring his gun. So he says, "Nah, I'm gonna drive." He's hired a car. I'm gonna drive to the event. So he's gonna drive like across America to come and battle me, rather than get in the plane. So like, and he was driving, hired a car or whatever, and he was coming with his same girl that he was on the Maury show with.
Oh, right, yeah.
So we're getting like occasional in the days leading up, because we're out there in Atlanta. Went to New Orleans as well. That was dope.
Oh wow!
Yeah, amazing. Man.
Did you go to? I was actually there like about 3 or 4 months ago. So yeah, it's an amazing place, isn't it?
Yeah, so amazing.
Armstrong Park and all that sort of shit.
Like I went to some of the main strips where there's music on the street. Oh. I was still writing for QP, so a couple times shit. I missed out on a couple trips. Like they went to because Kruger, Impact, Liam, and them they went to Crocodile World or something, Alligator Farm. They went to shooting range as well. So I missed out a couple of things, but the whole vibe was brilliant. Had a great time, great people. Awesome. So yeah, we're getting little updates from QP. Yeah. Like I'm here, and then we get back to Atlanta, and then get an update. I've crashed the car. So I don't know where he is, but he's crashed the car. He's going to try and get another. He has to go to the hire company, get a replacement. And then basically, he missed the whole event. Still weren't sure when, is he going to make the event? So I'm just like there, ready, not ready. And then he missed the event. He said, we'll come next day, we'll do the battle next day. Yeah, I remember actually being in the hotel room and being asleep at 5 a.m. and the phone rings in the morning after the battle. And I'm like, what? And I pick up the phone and it's QP. He's like, yo, man, I'm here, man. I'm in the lobby. What's my room number? I'm like, all right, QP. Let me just ask her.
What a thing to wait to.
Yeah, it was funny, man, after all this time. And then, I think, because there was these goons or whatever,
right.
Probably owed money to them or something, or done them wrong. And they had to actually move his hotel as well, because them villains found out where he was and went to his hotel. Anyway, so we next day we decided to battle at Centennial Park, which is a nice park in Atlanta with a nice sort of backdrop of the scene, the skyline. Yeah. So I remember being out there when we're at a little Waffle House or something.
Right.
Fucking hell. There's not a lot to eat from me, but I had hash browns.
Yeah, how did you do in America then? Was that tough as a vegan? Or?
It was all right. I mean, there was some organic shops where I'd top up, get some stuff.
Right.
And, occasionally if I have to, I'll eat a bit of cheese, I'm not that militant. But I remember, just being there, and then we got the call because someone had put the event, the park battle up on Facebook, which had obviously alerted the goons and left, QP terribly vulnerable to the locals. So I remember sitting there in the park, this quiet park, and just hearing the news and then just looking. There's an old couple having a picnic on a bench and some guy on a Segway. And that's when I started reworking my third round. I was like, man, I need to write about this nonsense. As we were walking back away from the park and then onwards to Sunny Bamboo's house.
So quickly, and it's very impressive.
And it's probably my best stuff, some of the best stuff from the battle in terms of like just being fresh and just funny in the moment and being 100% true.
And then, you go to Sonny's house and there's like about 10, 15 people in the crowd, just like friends and stuff. It's a pretty good atmosphere.
Oh man, like everyone's so friendly, and everyone's so friendly. Sunny Bamboo just looked after us, driving us here, and they're Sid Vicious. Obviously, they're organising. Such nice people. Who was Johnny Storm was there, My Verse, Direct, Nestle, 24/7.
Yeah.
Just blessed people, and just like nice atmosphere, and so basically, it was in Sunny Bamboo's front room, and Avocado and Liam were filming. Just did the thing. Great
situation to be in, isn't it? I mean, it would have been nice. I mean, are you glad the battle happened in a house, or would you still rather had it on that stage with all the people? Or
I actually think it worked out better for me.
Yeah,
because one, like, I had this new material, which is fun about the whole car crash and the segue and this and that. And also, I think actually at the venue, my stuff might not have gone down
right
brilliantly. I don't know. I think it would have gone down all right, but maybe like when I look back, my first round was a little long. Again, it's another one I watched back on 1.5 speed. So, I think it worked out well, to be honest.
And you say 1.5 speed, like, so you are conscious of your pauses, but it's just something you can't help, or?
I think most of it's due to late writing, and obviously part of it's I'm a laid-back performer. But when I'm more fluent, it is because I know the stuff, the passage is better, and hopefully in future I can just things I'm trying to improve if I continue battling in this vein is that just keeping the writing more concise as well, way I phrase things, and just being more fluent with the delivery. But it's part of my style to be slow-ish.
And we get into QP's stuff. Obviously, fantastic stuff here. You really did write well. Me versus you, I'm still leveling down. Part of the dream team. See, that's the highest level around you. Not as gifted, not Olympic. You have never been crowned. 5th place to your chest since you won a medal around.
Yeah,
really. I mean, that is him in a nutshell, isn't it? That kind of wordplay, and the way he says it as well. He has great expression.
He's unique, man. I love his delivery.
So unique.
Yeah, so good, man.
I think great to see. Weirdly, a SpongeBob scheme, but I mean,
Yeah, no, I was happy that he had stuff for me. You know what I mean? Because just hearing all this nonsense, I thought, is this guy even going to have anything? And he came with it.
Yeah, he came good. Sweet English muffin, etc. And then you mess in your first on the innuendo thing. If you still don't get it, if you ever see these crackheads in your window, they're trying to steal your Nintendo. We fit through any. Was that purposeful? That was very good.
Yep.
Through any unlocked bathroom window. That's your new intro. Just excellent.
Yeah, we fit through it.
That's
funny, man. That's funny.
And then the idea as well, really funny idea that they're like addicts to wordplay. And you're like wordization. It's something we all dabble in and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the Suns, because them guys are like.
Did they invent? I mean, they didn't invent wordplay, but are they kind of the guys who really kind of were very important?
I think so. Like, I don't know enough of the history of battle rap, but from what I understand is that the Suns, QP, who else is Heartless, Conceited, Fox, like they were either the originators or early adopters of that kind of style.
Right.
And QP's remained true to it. He seems like the spiritual center of that.
yeah, completely. There's no one like him, isn't it? And it all seems derivative of him in a certain way, if you think about it. Like, he does scheme, he does punchline.
Man, it just makes me happy to think about him, like just like living his life. You know what I mean? Crossing states, like just all the time, like working on these mystical punning schemes. You know what I mean? He's even though he's got shit going on, man, and like it's like he's an outlaw. You know what I mean? He just battle rap to battle rap. You know what I mean? I just Yeah, you know, a little smile for him when I think about what he's up to.
Yeah. I agree. I remember seeing him versus Remy D on King of the Dark. It was my first kind of time with him, and just like really, it felt like I was experiencing something entirely new in battle rap. It was just the way he was writing was really like, fucking hell, this is crazy. Like, this is really
that's a dope battle.
That is such a good battle. You talk of his IQ. Apparently, he said his IQ was 165. You talk about the exchange rate needing to be factored in and stuff like that. Really good. The whole QP, don't gotta watch P's and Q's kind of thing. Like, the crowd's a little bit sleeping, maybe, but I mean, it's a bit, you know.
I mean, there's only a few of them, but like I thought I had some nice little QP watching about. Like, I was like, oh yeah, that was alright, you know, that little, some of them QP, clean paper, the paper rounds.
Finishing his rounds must really want to be the paper boys, like, I extended that scheme in some way, but like, I thought like the writing was alright actually. Delivery hit and miss. Most days you roll it with headlines, but everything you peddle is throwaways.
Paperboy. Everything you peddle is throwaways.
Schemes never take a straight route.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's a bar.
That is a fucking bar. Like, you know, crazy shit. Follow, you know, Batman and Robin, you know, Paperboy and Paperman. And then your closer's very simple, very good sidekick like a crab attack.
I remember being in a hotel room and asking Liam if he thought that was a bad bar, and I think and Kruger, and I think we were divided, like, because it is a bit of a bad bar. It's like, it's not. Well, that's the thing. I can't see. That's just a sidekick like a crab attack. Yeah, it's a bit. It's a reach, big reach.
It's not bad, and QP responds to it. And was it surreal to you to see QP battling in front of you at you?
Not really. Only in the context that I thought he'd never get there.
Yeah.
That's how he's here. Oh, cool. And there's his girlfriend was super nice as well, like from the Maury show.
The Maury show.
Yeah. But I chatted to her after. I said, you know, you're all right, you know. No, she was really nice. And QB was great as well. Like, and as soon as I pulled up, he's like, "Hey, it's Ogmios."
And he has a good second as well. Quite a little bit denser, you know. Lost to me, bag him full of shit, you know, this sort of stuff here. But
lost to me, lovely stuff.
Pretty nice. And then in your second, your sort of impression of him, you start a battle with a blank page, decide on relevant schemes. He picks a page at random and says, "Oh yes, my elephant scheme."
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about, like, you know, some of the schemes. People who do them schemes, they got like a book. With like a list of like, there's my, you know, my airplane scheme, there's my footballer scheme, there's my elephant scheme. Oh yeah, I'll bring this out for this battle.
I did actually ask Chiller that when we were talking about the JC battle, and I was like, did you just have like an instrument scheme lying around? And he was like, yeah. It's, you know, it's just like you put them in there, you know what I mean? I
think like these guys were right. And you know, I was only joking before and I said Chiller stealing bars, because what is that? You do just write so much. It's normal that, like with the extraterrestrial bar, it is like normal that you know, you're both battling real. We both sort of thinking in that pun way. It's like you would, you know, it's possible people come up with the same bars. And I think a lot of these real punning battlers must write a lot. They must be constantly thinking of schemes, whereas I'm not thinking schemes at all unless I'm writing for a battle. But I really think these people are going through life, and it's fine, you know what I mean, probably on the street or whatever, it's like things occur to them, you know what I mean. I wish I had that mindset in a way to think, oh shit, that would be a bar, but I'm only ever writing once I got a battle booked and in those few weeks or whatever.
And I love the whole nothing safe from your appetite for a big pun.
Yeah, big pun.
Yeah, shout out Big Pun. Incredible debut album. Capital Punishment. His second album wasn't great actually, and then unfortunately he passed away, which was a great loss. Incredible writer. Apparently I remember watching a documentary of him recently, and when he was homeless he just read the dictionary. That was just like kind of how he got his vocab, and that's it.
That's what I'm saying, man. I just words, like that's what I think QP's wordplay is interesting, is fresh. He's using all types of different. His vocab is expanded. His interests are multiple. His references are vibrant. You know what I mean? That's the big difference between people like him who are doing wordplay and all these generic people doing wordplay. It's like a different world to me.
Yeah, entirely. And then in your third, you talk about Maury, like we say. QP, obviously everyone knows the Maury show, kind of like a Jeremy Cole, Jerry Springer sort of thing. QP was on it, right?
Yeah, he was on the Maury show, yeah. He's like, but he was on it, I mean, claiming that one of his identical twin sons was not his.
Right.
Obviously, it's all tongue-in-cheek. And, you know, you get paid to be on there. And I think he'd seen, like, a similar kind of story about twins, and one had with different fathers.
Right.
So him or his girlfriend had thought along that lines to go on the show. Well, yeah, it's pretty funny. He's on the show, like, you know, like, as a dastardly fellow, like, he's like, oh, this one's not mine. The other one's mine. They both look exactly the same. So yeah, that was a good fodder for my pen.
Yeah, and yeah, you mentioned sort of he texted he was in a car crash, which is crackhead code for my life's a car crash.
Yeah, left your kids at home. Just keep going.
And, you know, yeah, you mentioned Sentinel Park, as you were saying. Apparently, he didn't like the look of a Ghana Segway and stuff like that. QP says, fuck Automatic Ray, apparently.
I presume that's one of the dudes that connected to dudes that wanted to shoot him. But Automatic Ray was on the card, actually, on the card that we were meant to be battling at. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's why he turned up late.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Was there a crash at all, QP?
You want someone to shoot him in the head, or you wish someone would, or something like that.
I said, you see them, man, that want to shoot him in the head, or something like that. I said, I am rooting for them. Obviously, I said that in context of him having fucking missed the whole event.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, it was a bit cold. He said that. He goes, that's cold, man. That's cold. I said, yeah. Yeah, because he said, like, what card?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Earlier, he'd gone, like, he'd said something. And I said, well, don't you know, the card he was like, what card or something? I like, the card we were meant to battle on like 20 odd hours ago.
And, you know, you go into the whole idea of quantum, you know, quantum physics, quantum suicide, you know, the multiverse. There's even a version of you that will spit a multi-inner verse.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
Jesus. Oh, mate, quantum physics bars. Absolutely. That's what I was saying, man. I was speaking to
risk averse to risk averse.
I don't even know what that means, but like, no, it's deep. But I was saying, quantum suicide, man, it's cool. I was saying, hope for the best, QP. Just pull that gun that caused all these problems out of your girl's purse, put it to your head, pull the trigger. You know what I mean? It's cool. Hope for the best, man. Hope that he fucking shoots you, because you can go to some next multiverse where you expand your horizons.
And the decision to film in black and white, was that just because it was his house and is that easier, or?
Yeah, I think it's just an artistic decision, which I back. I think
it looks good.
I think just because it was a different, you know, just to like make it work as a standalone battle. And not just seem like some battle that we had to peg on to the end of the Don't Flop USA, because it didn't happen. So I think it really worked well. Liam and Avocado filmed it nicely, made it black and white. It's one for the connoisseurs.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely gives it a certain artistic flair, no doubt. And before we get on to the final mini battle, which I want to talk about, your most recent battle, it's a shame that the Harry Baker thing, the audio was a bit bad, wasn't it, unfortunately?
Yeah, I think we are going to battle again. Yeah. So the event was a little bit shambolic. Well,
I heard so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like you know, no one had our tracks ready. You know, stuff like, which is fine. Right. Every event, you know, and not every event's going to be as good as they normally are. You know what I mean? But it was there was a little scuffle in the middle of the battle, stuff like that, and then I was forgetting my bars. I was just giving myself reloads just Harry Baker was getting like pure reloads, and I was giving myself reloads to just start again, because again I'd only just finished the bars. Because when we agreed to the battle, he was like, we said 6 times 32. I I didn't really process how many bars that really is. That's more than I normally write, and I've got to spit them all into, to a tempo.
Yeah.
So basically, we are going to rematch. The first round will be grime, the second round hip hop, and the third round a cappella.
Right. Okay.
So I think around Christmas we're hoping to do that. And big up Harry Baker, and he's a talented writer. And
oh yeah.
But I'm looking to take him down. You know what I mean? I'm looking to bring him down a peg or two.
Excellent.
From the higher pegs down to.
I mean, some people might say, if this was all a cappella, this you versus Harry be like a number one contenders match.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I think like, well, people, to me, like the people that they seem to be lined up for the title are Quill, Gemini, Shocks the Rebel. You know what I mean? There was a time when I was mentioned in the frame.
Yeah.
And me and Dialect were mentioned a lot.
Yeah.
And I think they could have given us a shot, like me or Dialect. But, I think what it is that at a certain point people are building up momentum. And plus with the title shot being so sporadic, like once a year, it's like, I might put in a couple good battles and I want to be in contention late. You know what I mean? You have to really. I would like to see it battled. If you're going to have a title, have it defended at least twice a year. If I tell you what, if I ever became Don't Flop champion, which is fairly unlikely, but I would defend it more regularly. Things would change. Yes.
Yeah, I think it should be up. Every 6 months there needs to be a match. Really.
Yeah, makes more sense to me. And I think like the whole thing about not being a contender. People are saying, yeah, and I understand why, because Soul was killing it, and he still is. And so people would have second thoughts about, well, is Ogmios up to it, or is this person up to it? But at the end of the day, whoever's in contention is in contention. You know what I mean? If it's going to be more of like if you imagine it to boxing, they wouldn't not defend their title because there's no one as good as them. They still got to defend to whoever's in next up.
No, yeah. I mean, it would be fun to see you there. I would say it'd be a surprise to see you going for the title, but
it's a big. I think I'd have to put together a string of battles, and right now is like with Head Ice pulling out. It cost me, I think, in terms of momentum, getting back into like regular battling. I was supposed to battle Raptor. Again, didn't happen.
Where was that?
Sunburn.
Oh, right, okay.
But and so I think like you have to go on a bit of a build up some head of steam. Like
so that's why you battled the mighty Fahad Ad.
No, that was a separate thing.
Right.
Basically, that was a paid battle, so like it was a pretty good opportunity just to do a one rounder.
And you freestyled most of it, right? Or
apart from about 4 or 5 lines. A bit of a weird battle. Actually, lately I've just been doing weird battles. But that's why I really want to do a proper battle again. Want to get an opponent that'll get me excited again and just get right in and see if I can enter sort of second phase like that purple patch I had from most prob onwards to kind of refine my style a little bit and go into a new sort of phase. I think that's needed for me to still like really be on battling. It needs to come from me, and I need to really put that together.
And, do you feel, because you've written so many great battles now, do you ever feel any strain to come up with bars now, or is it still easy? Or it's always been a little strained. A little strained in terms of the time pressure. But, it's still one of the best things to do. It's like come up with bars. Yeah.
It's one of the most satisfying creative outlets that I have, just writing in general and writing for battles or tracks. But I feel like I need to write more. I need to get in more of a productive writing mode. If I'm going to match some of the output, like, Tony D seems, it's like, he must have his writing process down to a T, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I will sit down and write, and some days nothing will come, and some days a lot will come, but it's kind of hit and miss.
Yeah. Well, I obviously hope you still keep battling. And are you battling at the birthday? Are you going to battle this year, or?
I don't know. I've asked to battle at the birthday, but the card is obviously filling up, and so I've not heard back.
Yeah.
But I'm ready. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it's cool. I'll battle Harry Baker in Christmas, then maybe look for another battle after that next year.
Yeah.
But I'd like to, just because, I'm just I do feel a bit hungry for a battle, a proper battle, a good event with a good opponent.
Yeah.
So just watch your space. If not birthday, then the next event, hopefully.
Excellent. Well, we'll wrap up then with a few quick fire questions. Just any off the top of your head, anything you can think of. So, do you have a favourite don't flop battle, Ogmios?
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Tony D, Adam the Rapper.
Nice choice. Yeah.
That always comes to mind. I really enjoyed that a lot. I'll say that one for now. Yeah.
I think that's a good choice. King of the Dot.
King of the Dot. What was the one you mentioned before?
Which
QP
one?
versus Remy D.
QP Remy D. Yeah, good choice.
Off the top, as well, anything pretty much involved. Rupert Common.
I don't actually know.
You need to check him out.
Oh yeah.
So he's like a ground zero battler.
Right.
He was battling he hasn't battled recently, but he was battling in the past few years, from like 2012 onwards, I think.
Right.
And he's like comes from a poet sort of background.
Okay.
He battled Pigsty. That's a good battle.
Yeah, he's battled Andre Anthem, Fingers.
Yeah. He's battled some interesting characters. There's one with Copacetic, that's a weird one as well. But he's just like, he has imagination. He's got a very poetic flourish to his writing, interesting angles. And, sometimes he's a little indirect, or some might say a little pretentious, might be another thing that's thrown at him, but I just really like it. I think I think if he was in Don't Flop, he would have been pushed more, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a different vibe in King of the Dot.
Interesting.
But I think he would have been embraced more if he was coming up in Don't Flop. Or maybe it's just, some of his battles have quite a lot of views, but they are, and he hasn't battled recently, but he would definitely be in one of my, top 10 of like left field battlers.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I've literally never heard of that guy, and if you yourself are giving him such high praise, then
he's fun, man. He's fun. I like him. Watch him. You'll like some of his writing is dope.
Yeah, no, excellent. I'm excited. Rupert Common. Everyone needs to go check that guy out. I just checked him out myself. URL. Is there a favourite URL battle?
URL, man. They all merge into one. For a while, I was watching quite a lot of URL. Lately, who do I like on URL? It's hard to say. What's been a good battle?
JC Chiller?
Yeah, I mean, that was good.
It's a really good one.
Yeah.
B Magic. Do you like B Magic?
Yeah, B Magic. He's got them punches.
Oh, man.
Punches. I like some battles where, like, somebody gets bodied. Like, Charlie Clips did that to T-Rex recently, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. That third. Wow.
That third was killer. Didn't John the Don do that to someone recently as well?
John, Mr. Wavy, I think he bodied pretty badly.
Mr. Wavy, yeah.
Yeah. Who is that?
I'm not even sure if it's... that guy is just ridiculous, but that old solo guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think that's UW, but he battled... I was watching him against Swave 7. That's got to be one of the most hilarious battles. I don't even watch Swave 7 in that battle.
No.
I just watch old solos rounds. But it's amazing, like the stuff he's saying. And then his hype man is hilarious. Like his hype man, like at one point walks out, really sort of clumps out behind him, gives him the biggest slap on the back.
Hype men are amazing, especially in URL. Yeah. But I mean, in all battle rap, really. I don't know if you remember C Major's hype man in his tryout. He has one of the kind of funny.
That's right. Yeah.
Some guy with like gun signs, like sideshow bob hair.
He was a cool guy, man. Yeah, he was doing the gun signs.
finally, final two questions. First one being favourite film?
Man, I watch a lot of films. Yeah. I am a film buff, but I can't remember. I'll tell you what I like, a classic one from back in the day. Obviously, Zatoichi, I mentioned that before. Yeah. I think the 1990s one. I do like Kung Fu films a lot. What's that one with the one on the floating monastery, spring, summer, autumn, winter, and spring again. The Seventh Seal.
Right.
Is a classic film about knights during the time of the plague in Scandinavia.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, watch it. It's dope, and it's like this whole theme is like he plays. I've used it in my battles, I think, but he plays chess against death during this battle because it's like death is always looming over him. He has to try and trick death out of, it's dope. I'll give you them.
Awesome. And finally, your favourite musical band or artists that are in no way hip-hop related?
No way hip-hop. If it's not hip-hop, I normally listen to reggae or folk, like folky sort of music.
What like folk-wise?
Mostly like British folk.
Well, like Nick Drake or?
No, more like folky, like what's his name, Martin Carthy.
Right.
Or like singer-songwriters sometimes, American ones, Alela Diane.
Okay.
And reggae.
Yeah.
I like the kind of spiritual reggae. Like there's a band called Midnight.
Okay.
Spelled Midnite. They're prodigious output, and it's always dope. The Congos are the original roots reggae. The Congos, Groundation. Yeah, I put on something spiritual every morning while I do my things. Get me in the right frame of mind.
All right, man. Well, thanks so much for joining me. Genuinely, this has been
no
great.
problem, man. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, and if you have me back, we can have another chat, man.
I mean, there's so many battles of yours we haven't touched upon. It's crazy.
Yeah, cool. Wizard. We forgot about the Wizard. He's a
Wizard.
Wizard.
Oh yeah, he killed in that battle, man. I mean, you were good, but he was just wow.
He was funny.
Quill battle. It's another great one.
Quill, yeah. Big up Quill.
Lego,
yeah. We didn't chat about Lego.
Yeah, the Lego one was sick as well. But like I say, there's so much to get through. But I really appreciate your time. And finally, man, I mean, your music, your social media. How do people get at you?
You can get at me on Twitter at Ogmios Music.
Yeah.
You can get at me on Facebook, Ivan Ogmios Owen. You can email me ogmiosmusic@gmail.com, or you can, see me when you see me. And working on an album with my friend Tang the Pilgrim under the name Koto Dharma, which is going to be released in a few months. So watch out for that. Music is on its way. Hopefully Ogmios show, finally, third episode, might get finished in the next few months.
Yeah, go watch the first two.
Yeah, watch first two, catch up on them, and then be ready for stuff. Yeah, mystical stuff and stuff. And yeah, man, big up battlerapresume.
No, thank you, man.
I'm enjoying it, man. I often listen to it, while I'm doing my yoga and having my morning tea. It's good listening.
Oh, excellent.
How long did we go for? We've gone for like
2 hours, yeah. So
how long did go for? You went for long, didn't it?
Yeah, me and I went for 3.5. So
3.5.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's good though, interesting.
Yeah. The other one was really good, but it's interesting, isn't it? Everyone has their own length, really, their own pace. But we got through it, and I really appreciate it. Please, everyone, follow us again at battlerapresume@gmail.com, and
shall I play you out?
Yeah, Ogmios. Thank you again, man.
Hold on. Are you ready?
All right.
There you go, mate.